Hello, my friends. My name is Rick Lax, and I do not have any cool slides prepared for you. See? But I am going to try to read your mind right now. Oh, yeah, he's the guy from Facebook. That's right. That's me. I'm the guy, and I'm here now. But you can't push the like button because I'm just talking to you. Anyways, and if you don't know who I am, that is a weird joke. Everyone, imagine that we're going out to dinner right now, okay? Now it's time for dessert, and you're going to order dessert for us, something nice, like ice cream or tiramisu. Think about what that dessert is. You got it? You got it? Okay. Now we're going to use that dessert to pick a letter. So think of the last letter in the dessert you're thinking of. So if you were thinking of baked Alaska, then you would have the letter A. Alaska ends with an A. If you were thinking about a donut, then you would be thinking about the letter T. Don't pluralize it. If you had donut, don't say donuts with the S. Just think of the T. If you had donuts, change, so you have something else. So now everyone is thinking of a letter, the last letter in your dessert, right? Right? Good. Try to think of a big animal whose name begins with that letter. So if you were at Baked Alaska, that could be an anaconda or an alligator. If you're thinking of a donut, that would be a Tyrannosaurus Rex, something. Everyone's thinking of a big animal? Okay. If I can somehow guess what your big animal is, I ask that you burst into applause and then we get the TED Talk going. Sound fair? Okay, here we go. You're thinking of an elephant. Well, thank you, and welcome to my TED Talk. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, then I'm going to tell you about the trick that I just did and how I got to be doing it. My name is Rick, and what are we whispering about? I'm so curious. What are you saying? I can't tell, because usually I just perform on Facebook, so I don't get to hear the conversation, unless someone's leaving a comment telling me to kill myself, which is really common. Anyways, my name is Rick. I was born here in Detroit, then moved to Southfield. I lived most of my life in West Bloomfield, Michigan, and then I went to school at Michigan State. Yeah, and then after 1 year, I transferred to University of Michigan. I got out of there. And now that I've offended half the audience, I can tell you that after school, I went to Chicago for law school, and then I became a lawyer, didn't practice, wrote some books, and now I do magic, which is weird. I've been interested in magic, though, for as long as I can remember. I remember going over to my grandparents' house. This is when I was 3 or 4, and they had the best collection of David Copperfield VHS tapes, and I would watch with my grandparents and my parents, who are here somewhere. Where are they? Just so I know. They're right there. I know, it's adorable, right? So we'd go over, and I would see my grandmother just freak out at the magic he did. She was, "Oy vey, Ricky, how did he do it?" She was flabbergasted, and I never used the word flabbergasted, but she was. And then also I got to see David Copperfield perform live. He would come to Michigan, and when he would perform in this area that was, okay, do you guys know that it was literally where I'm standing right now. He would perform at the Fox Theater, standing right here, and I would be where you guys were. And so I stayed with magic this whole time, and then I just came back to it a year ago. I started putting these magic videos online, which is why some of the people recognized me, some of the younger people, for those of you who don't. Here's the thing about me. In the past year, I have racked up 1 billion video views, which, thank you, which I think, and I'm open to being corrected here, but I think this makes me the most viewed magician in the course of human history, which is very, thank you, and it's weird, and it all happened in the past year, but before that, I was just creating magic for other magicians, and I love the creative process. I've been creating magic for so long. Do you guys want to see one of the first tricks I created? All right, I'm gonna do it. It's terrible. One of the first ones I created. It is called the color-changing ball trick, which already is a problem because I just told you what the trick is, and that kills the element of surprise. So it's not good. It's not good. You know in advance it's not good. The red ball goes in the hand. I make a stupid magic gesture, and when I pull it out, it's green, which is not good because the method's obvious, right? I've got a green ball in this hand, red ball in this hand, or do I? If I did, how is it the trick would still work with the red ball in my pocket? Yeah? How could I change that red ball into a green ball and show you my other hand empty? I'll tell you how, because I know there's some confusion here. The start of the trick, I kept this hand closed. That was misdirection. I wanted you to think there was an extra ball in this hand. There's not. So the hand stayed closed when I put the ball in, stupid magic gesture, pulled it out. But there's no ball in the hand. The truth is, I've just got one ball. It's made out of unicorns, though. That's the secret. And so the moral of the story is when a magician's giving a TED talk saying he will reveal how a trick is done, he's probably lying and setting up the trick's surprise grand finale conclusion. Thank you. So that's what I did for a while, and now I started performing tricks, as I said, and if some of you guys recognized me, you know there's just a ton of comments that I get on these videos I do, where I do the tricks like that, but I do it on Facebook. 80% of the comments are positive, 20% are negative. Facebook allows me to filter out the negative comments, so you don't get to see many of them, but they're really bothersome. The one that bothers me the most is when people say, anyone who falls for this guy's tricks is an idiot. I hate it when people say that, because I use all my brain power to come up with deceptive magic, and so it's fine if you fall for a trick. I also realize that some of you might not fall for it. Maybe you know how the dessert trick was done. Maybe you know how the ball trick was done. That doesn't bother me because as a magician, you guys know that I'm trying to trick you. That's the whole point of doing magic. It's so much easier to trick someone if you're in sales, or if you're in business, or if you're running to be president of the United States. They've got it so easy compared to me. Really, any other profession, if you're a mechanic or if you're in hospitality, if you're in the gaming industry in Vegas, it's so easy to trick someone because the other people don't see it coming. There's a quote that I love from George Bernard Shaw. He says that every profession is a conspiracy against the laity. Every profession is a conspiracy against the laity. And I know that that's true because when you're not doing magic, it is so easy to trick someone. And the proof of that is, that quote did not come from George Bernard Shaw. I just lied to you guys, and that was the easiest thing ever. When I do the magic, very hard to trick you, but if I'm just during the talk portion of the TED Talk, I can just say, this quote came from him. No, it's a Mark Twain quote, and if you knew about literature, you would know that Twain said it all the time. Shaw would never say anything like that. So it's just so easy to trick someone. And I know I'm belaboring the point, but to prove that, it's not even a Mark Twain quote. I just made it up and made it sound old-timey because it fit the point I was trying to make. So the point is super easy to trick someone. So what do you guys do if you don't want to be tricked, right? Here's one solution. Never believe anything that anyone says ever. Yeah, you're laughing because it's a bad solution. So when the weatherman says it's going to rain, bring an umbrella. When the doctor says you've got strep throat, take this medication. When your grandparents say I love you, these are not the right times for skepticism. Some of the skeptics, they have an answer. They say look for proof, look for evidence. But again, if when the grandparents say they love you, this isn't the right time to whip out the polygraph machine. Also, even if you're looking for evidence, you can still be tricked. You can be looking right at it. I'll ask you about the identities of these cards. Try to remember the suits. First one is spade. Everyone remember spade. Second one is heart. Everyone remember heart. Third one is club. Everyone remember club. Last one is diamond. Everyone remember diamond. All right, some of you remember the order, some of you don't. I don't care about the order of the suits, though. Here's the question. Are these cards jacks or are they kings? Kings? Some say kings. We're not quite sure because we weren't paying attention. You're paying attention to the wrong thing. And that's how I got them to all be 8s. I know. So that's a case where you were all looking for the proof, but still I was able to deceive you. So what do you do? Even looking for proof evidence, that doesn't do it. Here's my solution. Be open to the possibility that you could be wrong. Be open to the possibility that you could be wrong. If you live your life with this mindset, then you get to follow your beliefs, you get to act on them passionately, but also, in the rare cases that you're wrong, you'll never have that feeling of getting the rug pulled out from under you. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. That's where a lot of people quit, that they found out their whole belief system is messed up. So as long as you stay open to the idea that you could be wrong, I believe you can accomplish anything. Your childhood dreams, you can make them come true. Here's just one example. I talked about David Copperfield a couple minutes ago. Talked about seeing him with my grandparents, seeing him here on stage. And now I'm proud to say that I work with David, creating magic for him, trying to inspire the next generation of magicians. And I got this far, thank you. And I got there by working hard, by always following my beliefs, but by staying open to the idea that I might be wrong. And I know that even though I'm a master of deception and all this, I know that I could be wrong because it's just so easy to be wrong. And then the proof of that, and this is the final time I'm going to mention this, the proof of that is that the quote, in fact, did come from George Bernard Shaw, as I first said. And I will ask that this time you Google that, you fact check me, but please only do so after I thank you for your time, bow, and exit the stage to thunderous applause. Thank you.